You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. And right now at 7, a federal judge sentences a Diamond, Missouri man to life in prison for the sexual exploitation of a child. Also, our very own Yana Hatala takes us to Parsons, Kansas. We're going to learn more about how the Parsons Police Department is stepping up their nighttime patrols. And boy, I'm just hitting wrong buttons everywhere. But there's a live look at the Storm Center and some rain chances that are on the way. We're going to talk about all of that coming up on the KOAM Morning News right here. Hi, on Fox 14.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, everybody. Give me just 1 second here as I fix what I just broke. Hi, how are you doing? It's Monday. Look at that. There's a live look at the I-44 MoDOT camera on this rainy Monday morning. Hi, how are you? Thanks for sticking with us. It's 7 a.m. I'm Chris Warner, I hope. I don't know really what's going on right now, but we're going to get to today's top stories and then talk about some of the rain chances we have on the way. We start in Diamond, where a federal judge sentenced a man to life in prison for sexual exploitation of a child. Authorities say 66-year-old Terry Mixell was a counselor at a Purdy, Missouri drug treatment facility and used his position to solicit explicit images from an underage patient. Mixell was convicted of producing child pornography and using the internet and a cell phone to induce a child to engage in sexual activity. He is sentenced to life in prison without parole. Altamont, Kansas Recreation Commission hosted their 9th annual Boo Bash. Free drinks, food, and games took place. Costume and pumpkin contests were held, and the top 3 winners in each category won a prize. Local businesses sponsored the event with toys for door prizes, and every child received a treat bag of goodies.
It gives everyone a sense of pride of small town community to come together and be able to just show support in our own little town.
Following the Boo Bash, the city of Altamont held a trunk or treat. Neighborhood Lifehouse hosts a fall fundraiser and open house. The Lifehouse serves the community through after-school programs for kids and through other community events. Sunday's fundraiser consisted of a dinner and silent auction.
We've had an annual fundraiser for several years, and it's usually been in the fall to just update donors, to get connected with people who might not have known about our ministry and get the word out, and also to connect more people with what we're doing here through Neighborhood Lifehouse.
The Neighborhood Lifehouse is located at 516 North Wall in Joplin. City of Parsons has stepped up their nighttime enforcement. KOAM's Yana Hatala talked with officials about the change. She joins us live from the rainy city of Parsons. Good morning, Yana.
Good morning, Chris. We are here in Parsons. The city has been seeing an increase in suspicious calls about suspicious people and activity. The police department wants to be proactive and work together with the residents. They encourage residents to communicate with the police and call about any suspicious activity they may see. The police says lights and cameras can also be a big help when dealing with criminals during the night.
You see somebody that's in your neighborhood that, maybe they're milling around cars or something, call it in. I think the best thing I've been telling people is get the Ring cameras. I mean, they pick up a lot, and they're really good videos.
As many others at this time, the police department is short-staffed, and they are working 12-hour shifts, but they will get more officers once they get their training done. Live in Parsons, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
All right, Yana, thank you so much. Well, dangerous fire conditions continue across parts of Reddings Mill and the rest of the 4 states. Many of us under burn bans now for several weeks. National Weather Service had issued red flag warnings toward the end of last week. And KOAM's Shagun Bamadele explains what exactly a red flag warning is.
A red flag warning means very low humidity and strong winds are expected to combine, creating a high risk of fire danger.
Weather conditions were really volatile and fire conditions were very extreme, and we had, in our fire district, we had 3 fires ongoing at the same time.
For a red flag condition, wind must be at least 10 miles per hour, humidity at 25% or lower, and dead fuels like dry grass holds less than 9% moisture.
Not a good idea to be burning with our low humidities that we're having, our high winds. We're in a drought period right now.
Haley says rain would help.
We need a significant amount of rain to overcome that drought, and up to half-inch of rain is very nice, but with our humidities and winds, those fuels dry out very quickly, and so we go right back into that same period.
He tells me how the fire department is preparing in case there is another fire.
We've just got our personnel, and we're ensuring that our trucks and apparatus are properly outfitted and good to go, and then if the conditions determine and we need to bring in more personnel, we can do that.
Another chief says the community's help is needed to protect the community during conditions like this.
Most people have apps on their phones that will give them the weather conditions, and it will tell them about it. And it's just basically raising the awareness, make sure the people know, make sure they don't go out and burn their leaves or try to get anything, burning brush or anything like that.
In Reddingsmill, Shagun Bamdele, KOAM News.
The battalion chief says people should be quick to call the fire department when there is sign of a fire. Real quick, a look at this day in weather history. And back in 1992, near Flagstaff, Arizona, 3 tornadoes touched down. One even tracked across the Crater National Monument. Thankfully, nothing like that in our forecast, but we do have rain on the way. As you can see, some showers from northeast Oklahoma into southwest Missouri, and we've got more activity on the way from the southwest. More showers and thunderstorms building across Oklahoma, and they're slowly creeping into our area. The other thing we have to deal with is all this wind. Wind gusts today, again, pushing 40 miles an hour and even into tomorrow morning, but the good news is winds will eventually die down. But for today, again, make sure your trash can is secured so it does not end up in the neighbor's yard. And for rain, we're talking anywhere from really an inch and a half, maybe even upwards of 3 or 4 inches for some of us. Right now in Joplin, roads are damp from some earlier showers, mostly cloudy, 70 degrees, more rain on the way. Temperatures across the area not bad, 73 Neodesha, Parsons, 72 Pittsburgh, 70 in Carthage. And as we go through today, 76 was our high at about 2 or 3 this morning. Temperatures gradually dropped to 58 by 8 with thunderstorms across the area. More thunderstorms tonight. Temperature drops back down to an overnight low of 51 degrees. We have more showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, only 54. Brief break in the 60s Wednesday and Thursday, and then more shower and thunderstorm chances Friday and Saturday with temperatures in the 50s. Well, up next, despite the attempts to curb overdose deaths in the U.S., they're still on the rise. And later, we'll meet a Northwest Oklahoma woman who shows what it means to show strength in the face of adversity. You're watching the KOAM Morning News here on Fox 14. Morning, despite a nationwide effort to stop opioid abuse, overdose deaths continue to rise with more than 100,000 annually. Michael George spoke to addiction specialists and people going through recovery to talk about new approaches to ending the crisis.
Stephen Bell's struggle with addiction started when he was prescribed OxyContin after a surgery. When he was introduced to fentanyl, he nearly lost his life.
Only takes a very little bit to kill you, and I've experienced overdoses myself with it because it's very strong.
Stephen is alive thanks to the overdose reversing medication Narcan, also known as naloxone. He's now in treatment at the Camelot Substance Abuse Program on Staten Island.
I didn't know how to stop, so I definitely had to go away to treatment to have somebody to help me stop.
Fentanyl is everywhere, in everything.
Camelot CEO Carl Farron says he's seeing the crisis get worse, not better. The CDC says 107,000 Americans died of overdoses in 2021, up 15% from the year before, and 2/3 of those deaths are linked to fentanyl and similar synthetic opioids. More communities are trying a new approach, making Narcan available in public places, like a free vending machine at this church in Austin. And last month, the LA Unified School District gave every middle and high school Narcan after 7 student overdoses in a month, including 15-year-old Melanie Ramos.
Offering that is definitely a plus. It's a very simple tool, I think, to assist on the streets, on the ground level,
Farron also says there's a desperate need for more substance abuse counselors and social workers.
There's just not enough to go around to really serve the population. It's been underfunded, underpaid.
A national commitment needed.
It definitely needs to be addressed more and looked at more, definitely, yeah.
To stop a growing epidemic. Michael George, CBS News, Staten Island.
Now you can learn how to use Narcan to stop an overdose for free. There's a training video on the CDC website. Back with another check of your forecast right after this. Well, the Baxter Springs Police Department wants to help build positive interactions between the community and law enforcement. KOAM's Carrie Worthen talked with the department on their new Lights On program.
So we are partnering with the Lights On program, which is from Minnesota. It's going to be coming to our agency and providing a third option for vehicles that we pull over that have any headlights, taillights, turn signals out.
Officer Randa Andrews was at a training where she learned about the Lights On program and wanted to bring it to the 4 states. Lights On is a nonprofit which boosts economic self-sufficiency for low-income individuals. All money used for this program is donation-based.
With every voucher, it will take away from that fund. So that is really key of why we need donors to donate money to keep that account plenished so we can keep this program up and going. We've luckily had a lot of local sponsors that have donated. Some have been our auto dealerships that's going to actually participate with us, and some were some local businesses just in town here.
Carnes Pro Tire and Auto Center in Quapaw is just one of 5 automotive centers participating in the Lights On program.
And why we partnered with them in this program is to help the community better get acquainted with the officers through this program, and also get our name out there. And anytime the community comes to us and asks us to help, we're more than happy to help, always.
Officer Andrews wants this program to help improve community and police relations.
Make people understand that a simple traffic stop isn't always a bad thing. You know, it may be that they had a headlight or a tail light out, or their turn signal isn't working, and you know, instead of getting a citation right away, it might be that they're getting a voucher that time.
Well, I'm hoping that they're, develop that relationship with the cops, that they're not always out to get them, that they're there to help as well.
Officer Andrews hopes other agencies in the 4 states will join in. In Baxter Springs, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
Baxter Springs is the second Kansas agency to join the program, and they hope to start within the next couple of weeks. If you want to learn more about this program, you can visit our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now it's time for a check of that forecast. As we promised, you can see some showers stretching from southwest Missouri back into southeast Kansas, and even a few spotty showers still in northeast Oklahoma. But look out to the west, because we've got more shower and thunderstorm activity on the way. We've got a very well organized batch of heavy rain and even some thunderstorms in there as well, as it slowly starts to make its way off to the northeast and will be impacting us in the next hour or two. So rain absolutely needed and absolutely on the way. We also have the gusty winds to contend with. Wind gusts still pushing 40 later today, and again pushing 40 miles an hour tomorrow, although they will eventually calm down. But for today and tomorrow, make sure your trash can's secured so it does not end up in the neighbor's yard. In terms of rainfall totals, we're looking anywhere from an inch upwards of 2.5 inches, maybe even 3 to 4 inches in some areas by the time this system is done with us. The sun trying to rise back behind some clouds in Joplin right now, and it is 70 degrees. These temperatures will not get much warmer either, by the way. Wind to south at 16 miles an hour in the city. Temperatures across the area are not too shabby either. 73 Neodesha, Parsons, Chanute, 72 Pittsburgh, 71 in Lamar, and 70 in Carthage as we start this day. We hit our high of 76 at about 2 or 3 this morning. Temperatures will gradually fall back down to 58 by 8 with thunderstorms across the area. And guess what? More thunderstorms tonight. Temperatures again gradually fall back to an overnight low of 51. So not too bad, but rain and thunderstorms are definitely in the forecast, which is nice. Sunrise today is 7:34, so that's set to happen here in about 14 minutes or so. Sunset 6:29 tonight. Now look at the 7-day forecast. This is where we have more rain. So showers and thunderstorms yet again tomorrow. Again, blustery. 54 is as warm as we get. 61 Wednesday, 67 Thursday. We clear out briefly, and then we see additional shower and thunderstorm chances both Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday we're mostly cloudy, but I wanted to show you this, or I wanted to point this out. 53 Friday, 49. Not a big change. 57 Saturday, so a bit of a rise, but only 54 Saturday night. Because of the cloud cover and the rain, it kind of acts like a blanket over the area and just kind of locks our temperatures into the 50s for at least a few days heading into the weekend. But the big thing is we're getting the showers and thunderstorms today, tomorrow, and more of them by the end of the week. We got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. It's time to honor today's four-state hero, Haskell Carter. Petty Officer 3rd Class Carter served in the Navy from 1951 to 1955. Served in the Subic Bay and the Philippines with the CTG-73 boat pool. During his service, he earned the National Defense Service Medal and the Good Conduct Medal. A native of Columbus, we thank you, today's four-state hero, Haskell Carter. A Northeast Oklahoma woman demonstrates what it means to show strength in the face of adversity. Kimberly Chase, her family and friends have joined in the fight against cancer because of her own diagnosis. KOAM's Shagun Bamadele has more about the challenges she faces.
Kim Chase went to the emergency room for a kidney stone on July 28, 2020. That was the day she learned she had stage 4 colorectal cancer with metastases to her liver and lungs. A search for a cure is ongoing.
We feel like we've ran into a roadblock of the type of treatments that she's done, and she's not ready to lose this fight, and we're not ready to give up either. So it would mean the world.
At the beginning of Kim's diagnosis, the doctors gave her 6 months to live. But it's been 2 years and almost 4 months, and she still continues to fight.
I've got a lot to live for. I want to see my children grow up and graduate and get married and have children, and my nieces. I love watching them play their sports and just being here to be with everybody for the holidays. It gives me a chance to fight because I have the will, I just don't have the funds.
Kim's husband says it is tough.
It's a tough fight for anybody, and I know there's lots of people out there that's dealt with it, and they know how the struggle is, and we just appreciate everybody's help and support and prayers, lots of prayers.
Now, Kim could be headed to New Mexico for treatment. However, it costs tens of thousands of dollars.
Every dollar helps because the $60,000 is just the medical treatments only. It's not travel or anything like that. And they actually told us last night that there's only one spot left for this year. And we did put a deposit down because we have faith that we're going to get the money we need to get there and get the treatments that I need.
The family is working to raise money to get the treatment.
We've got a fun run 5K tomorrow here in town, as well as a chili feed, and then on Sunday the First Assembly of God Church is doing a fish fry.
The fun run starts at 9 a.m. at the First Christian Church in Fairland. Meanwhile, her family continues to fight along with her.
To me, I have to be strong, and I have to be someone she can lean on and be able to pull some strength through to fight a little harder.
In Fairland, Oklahoma, Shagun Bamdele, KOAM News.
You can find more information about how to help Kim Chase on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. We've got some rain moving into the area. You can see some showers stretching from Nevada back through Pittsburgh toward Columbus, and a few spotty showers in northeast Oklahoma still. But this is not the main show, so don't worry. If you haven't got rain yet, you certainly will, because take a look off to our south and west. Look at this beautiful line of showers and thunderstorms stretching all the way from Wichita back into Texas, and then some heavier batches of rain ahead of that, and that's all coming our way, which is something we need. The other thing we don't need but still have, wind gusts pushing 40 miles an hour today and again tomorrow, so do make sure that your trash can's secure so it does not end up in the neighbor's yard. Rain totals are going to be anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches, 3 inches, maybe even 4 inches in some locations, so do be prepared for that. Right now in Joplin, the sun trying to rise back there. Temperature is 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, as you can see. Temperatures across the area not bad. 74 Neodesha, 73 Parsons, 71 in Carthage. As we go through today, our high of 76 happened at about 3 o'clock this morning. Temperatures drop back to 58 by 8 with thunderstorms. More thunderstorms tonight, and we'll drop back down to a low of 51 degrees. And a quick check of the 7-day. We have more showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday. High of 54, brief break Wednesday and Thursday, and then additional storm chances on Friday and Saturday. Not that anyone's complaining. We're back with more right after this.
State's most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It is currently 7:29 on this beautiful Monday morning. I say beautiful because we have rain on the way. Talk more about that in a few minutes. But first, today's top stories. Area firefighters join forces to take on a fire in Carthage that spreads to the city's oldest Latino church. Reports of the fire started at about 7:45 Saturday evening. Authorities say the fire began at a former sheet metal plant and lumber business, but quickly spread to the Iglesia Cristiana at 122 Grant. Carthage Fire immediately requested support from other area departments, including Avila, Webb City, Carterville, Dunnaweg, and Jasper. We saw wind gusts over the weekend pushing 55 miles an hour, and those winds helped accelerate the fire. Firefighters were able to bring the flames under control just after 10 Saturday. Authorities had to bring in heavy equipment to tear down portions of the buildings that were considered dangerous. We've got the latest on this story at KOAMNewsNow.com. City of Parsons has stepped up their nighttime enforcement. KOAM's Yana Hatala talked with officials about the change. Joins us live in Parsons right now. Good morning, Yana.
Good morning from the city of Parsons, Kansas. We're here to talk about the nighttime enforcement. The policemen are stepping in because they're getting an increased amount of calls about suspicious activity and people during the night hours. The police department wants to be proactive and work together with the residents. They encourage residents to communicate with the police and call about any suspicious activity they may see. This provides the police hints and betters the chances of getting the criminals in the city caught.
Think of a balloon. You know, if we can squeeze a balloon just a little harder here in Parsons, you know, we're not going to necessarily prevent or arrest every criminal, but if we can make it uncomfortable for criminals to do their business here in our community, well, some of those are going to go away.
As many others at this time, the police department is short-staffed and there are some working 12-hour shifts at the moment. They will get more police officers once they get their training done. Live in Parsons, Yana Haudala, KOAM News.
All right, Yana, thank you so much. Well, some McDonald County High School students got an in-person lesson on a classic novel. English class students are reading To Kill a Mockingbird, a story set in the 1930s about the trial of a black man falsely accused of rape. On Friday, the students went to the historic McDonald County Courthouse to read parts of the book. Teacher says it helps immerse the students in the time frame.
My principal and I had this idea for what I'm calling place-based learning, where we came to the McDonald County Historical Courthouse Museum to read the chapters in To Kill a Mockingbird where the trial happens in Macomb. And so in this way it allows us to imagine the scenario more fully and engage with the text in a way that's really more engaging for the students.
And that historic museum is located in the Pineville Square. Pitt State students making a splash ahead of homecoming. Pitt State's longstanding tradition, homecoming raft races, took off Friday at University Lake. Student organizations built their own rafts and faced off in a series of races in two-person teams. The races determined whose rafts were superior based on craftsmanship and speed.
Today's the raft races, which is where we're actually playing capture the flag in the water with a bunch of other teams, and we're using the rafts that we made with just cardboard, pool noodles, duct tape, and rope. So those were the only things that we could use.
Took the organization 3 hours every day for 2 weeks to just get the raft ready for the right journey. Well, this morning we're discussing Halloween displays being used to express opinions. Julie Schwertley, an Iowa resident, has an eye-catching and thought-provoking yard display inspired by her pro-choice stance. Beaverdale neighborhood where she lives includes a variety of political views, and while some take issue with this Halloween display, Schwertley says she hears directly from people who support the display. And that brings us to our question to you this morning. Should people be able to express their beliefs through things such as Halloween displays? Yes or no? So far, 76% of you say yes, 24% of you say no. Make sure you vote through our website, through the app, and of course take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. All right, we got rain across the area. We got some scattered showers out there now, spanning from southwest Missouri, southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, and northwest Arkansas getting in on the activity. But as we take a look to our west, We have much more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity, and there's a very nice line of showers and thunderstorms getting going just west of Oklahoma City, and it will eventually make its way here. And ahead of that, just a good amount of rain. We're even seeing a few little thunderstorms trying to get going, say around the Bartlesville area in Washington County, and all of that making its way our way. We're still going to deal with wind gusts upwards of 40 miles an hour today and wind gusts upwards of 40 miles an hour tomorrow before they do eventually calm down. And between now and then, make sure your trash can is secured so it does not end up in the neighbor's yard. Rain totals. These are varying, but with the latest update, we're looking anywhere from 1 inch, 2 inches, maybe even 3 or 4 inches in that red area as well. So definitely some much needed rainfall on the way. Cloudy start to the day, 7th and range line, even some showers earlier this morning. 70 degrees in Joplin, wind is south at 16. Temperatures across the area are all right, but again, they're going to continue to fall. 74 Neodesha, 73 Parsons, 69 in Pittsburgh, and 70 in Lamar as we start the day. Now, the high that we put on here, we put it on there because this is what the official high was, 76 at about 2 or 3 this morning. Temperatures gradually dropped to 58 by 8 with thunderstorms throughout the day and more thunderstorm chances throughout the evening. Will eventually drop back down to a low of 51 degrees. As we take a look at the 7-day forecast, more shower and thunderstorm chances tomorrow and still windy. 54 though. 60s Wednesday and Thursday under clearer skies, and then more shower and thunderstorm chances Friday and Saturday. Temperatures in the 50s before we stop raining on Sunday, but we're still left with mostly cloudy skies. We're back with more right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. A criminal trial against the Trump Organization is scheduled to begin today. It's accused of a tax fraud scheme spanning about 15 years. Amy Kiley previews the case before the New York Supreme Court.
Jury selection is set to begin today in the trial of former President Donald Trump's real estate company. The Trump Organization is charged with an alleged tax fraud scheme that involved paying executives off the books.
A company can't go to jail, but this can be very, very problematic for his company.
Trump's longtime CFO is expected to be the star witness. Alan Weisselberg pleaded guilty to 15 related felony counts in August. Those pleas and his testimony are in return for a lighter sentence. As for Trump himself,
he is not personally charged. I don't expect that that's going to change, although it obviously could.
That criminal trial is separate from the New York Attorney General's civil lawsuit. She's suing Trump, his company, and his 3 oldest children. That's for allegedly misrepresenting assets to get favorable loan rates and tax benefits. And those aren't Trump's only legal problems. A leader of the January 6 House Select Committee is giving new details about how he might testify before the panel.
It may take multiple days. And it will be done with a level of rigor and discipline and seriousness that it deserves.
Representative Liz Cheney says Trump's testimony would not be televised.
He's not going to turn this into a circus. This is far too serious set of issues.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
It's unclear if Trump will appear before the House Select Committee. He responded to its subpoena by calling the investigation a, quote, witch hunt, but he didn't say whether he would comply with the subpoena. Trump could fight it in court, and that battle could outlast the committee. We've got another look at your forecast, including some rain chances when the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 returns. All right, we've got rain across the area, some showers spreading out across the region right now, watching additional thunderstorm development in northeast Oklahoma, and then we've got more showers and thunderstorms off to our southwest. A pretty good line stretching from just near Wichita all the way back down to Texas, and that will eventually make its way into our area later today. We also still have to contend with winds that are not associated with storms, gusting again upwards of 40 miles an hour today and pushing 40 miles an hour again tomorrow morning, but they do eventually calm down. Between now and then, though, secure that trash can. You don't want it in your neighbor's yard, do you? I didn't think so. They don't want it in their yard either. So make sure it's in a good place. Rain totals range anywhere from 1 inch, 2 inches, maybe even 3 inches or more in that red zone in northeast Oklahoma. So some much needed rain. Very cloudy start to the day in Joplin after some early showers. 70 degrees, wind is south at 16 miles an hour. Temperatures across the area are fair as well. 73 Neodesha Parsons, 70 Lamar, 71 Carthage, and 70 in Monette and Neosho. As we go through the day, now we put this on here, like I said, because officially it was our high of about 76 at about 3 o'clock this morning. Temperatures will drop gradually back down to 58 by 8 o'clock, and we'll have pretty much all day shower and thunderstorm chances, and all night shower and thunderstorm chances as well. 51 for the overnight low. And on the 7-day forecast, we're not done yet. We got more shower and thunderstorm chances tomorrow, but we'll only reach a high of 54, so those gusty winds might feel a bit cool. Brief break Wednesday and Thursday as we clear out and get into the 60s, and then more shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into Friday and Saturday, as you can see, and then we get locked into the 50s for the next few days as we head into the weekend. As you can see, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not a lot of difference between the highs and the lows, and that is because of the rain and cloud cover. Manages to lock us into those 50-degree temperatures, at least for a little while, but a very fall-like forecast ahead of us. In Consumer Watch this morning, a Republican-led legal challenge has put President Joe Biden's student debt relief program on hold. Temporary pause means for now, the administration can't cancel loans covered under the policy, which was set to start yesterday. So what happens now? Well, Chris Nguyen has a closer look at what this means for the more than 20 million people who already applied for relief.
On the same day, President Joe Biden touted his student loan forgiveness program.
This is a game changer. We're hearing from people all over the country.
A federal appeals court on Friday put the policy on pause for now, barring the administration from canceling loans, while the court considers a legal challenge from 6 Republican-led states, which are requesting a preliminary injunction, saying President Biden doesn't have the legal authority to wipe out the debt.
Republican members of Congress and Republican governors are doing everything they can to deny this relief, even to their own constituents. Their outrage is wrong and it's hypocritical.
The pause means millions of people waiting for the rollout of the first wave of loan forgiveness will now have to wait a little longer while the program's fate is decided.
This relief is breaking barriers in our communities and in our minds about what we can do with our future.
The program would dismiss up to $10,000 in debt for eligible applicants or up to $20,000 if they were Pell Grant recipients. More than 20 million people have applied since last week. The White House had previously identified Sunday as the soonest day that some borrowers could see their debt canceled.
I want to be clear who's going to benefit most. Working people, middle-class folks.
So what happens now? A lot of back and forth. The White House is still encouraging people to apply for relief at studentaid.gov. The administration has until Monday to submit its response, followed by the Republican response on Tuesday. In Washington, I'm Chris Nguyen.
Lawyers for the government argue that Congress gave the Secretary of Education the power to discharge debt in a 2003 law known as the HEROES Act while George Bush was in office. We'll be right back with more after this, but first, why don't we take a look at those market prices before the opening bell. Why are celebs going bonkers over lattes created by a certain barista? Actress Tilda Swinton couldn't stop photographing his latest coffee creation. Jeannie Moose reports.
When actress Tilda Swinton swooned over a latte and scurried to get her camera, you knew there had to be something special inside that cup. It was Tilda herself.
Yeah, who doesn't want a latte with their face in it, you know?
Think of Brian Leonard as Toronto's latte artist to the stars.
God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. From Lily Tomlin to Josh Brolin.
No way!
To Olivia Colman. No way! To Seth Rogen.
This is insane.
He's leaving them speechless.
Meryl Streep called me a genius, and it'll be on my tombstone probably.
Hillary Clinton said it too.
God, you're a genius!
Barista Brian uses a bamboo stir stick to apply food coloring to the foam. He can crank out latte art in 2 to 4 minutes, though many of his subjects, like Sydney Sweeney, don't want to drink the artwork.
I can't ruin this!
On the other hand, Tilda Swinton couldn't resist.
And it's delicious.
Sucking up her image. Like Carly Simon, Barista Brian had a dream.
I had some dreams, they were clouds in my coffee.
But he dreamed of foam in his coffee.
You're so vain. You probably think this latte is about you.
His dream of being paid to perform latte art at film festivals and events has come true. He paints everything from the Foma Lisa to Matt Damon to Tom Hanks. And he has a signature line for everyone who praises him.
Thanks a latte.
Ginny Moose, CNN.
Facing your latte, facing your latte, and
New York.
You're so vain.
Absolutely incredible creations. Not so sure about the singing, but that's why I don't sing. But those creations were amazing, absolutely amazing. And the Skywatch Storm Tracker has created this creation for you with all these pretty blues and greens and yellows and even a few reds out there. And the reason it's doing that is because we got rain. We've got showers right now across the area. As you can see, we're watching thunderstorm development in parts of northeast Oklahoma. And if we look off to the southwest, we've got a good line of showers and thunderstorms just west of Oklahoma City and some heavy rain ahead of that. All of it making its way into our area later today. Now, one thing we do have to deal with is wind gusts today, once again pushing about 40 miles an hour. And you know what they're going to do tomorrow? Yeah, they're going to push about 40 miles an hour again, but they do eventually calm down, which is a good thing once we get the rain through here. However, for today and tomorrow, make sure your trash can's secure so it does not end up in your yard. Your yard. You probably don't mind it in your yard, but you don't want it in your neighbor's yard. You don't want it in Tim's yard. I don't think he wants your trash can in his yard. You never know. On the other hand, Tim back there may collect trash cans. So either way, though, make sure it's secure. You don't want to lose it, especially if Tim does collect trash cans, because then you won't get it back. We got rain chances as well, of course. We got anywhere from 1 inch of rain to 2.5 inches of rain, maybe even a little more in that red swath. So rain that is absolutely needed and is finally on the way. Cloudy skies in Joplin. Roads are still a bit damp after some morning showers in Joplin. 70 degrees right now. Temperatures across the area vary a little bit. We've got, say, 69 Stockton, Nevada, Fort Scott, 68 in Pittsburgh, 73 in Neodesha, and 73 in Parsons. And for the rest of today, our high today, we put it on there because that's the official one at about 3 a.m. this morning, was 76. Temperatures cool back down to 58 by 8 o'clock with thunderstorm chances, as you can see, pretty much all day long. And there may be a bit of a spotty break here and there, but more shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into the overnight. Low drops back down to 51 degrees. Our sunrise and sunset today, even though we can't really see either, 7:34 is when the sun came up, and it will go back down at 6:29 this evening. Now look at the 7-day forecast. Some more shower and thunderstorm chances tomorrow, only 54. So the rain, between the rain and the wind, it's going to feel a little chilly. Nice warm up into the 60s. Wednesday and Thursday under partly cloudy skies, and then more storm chances Friday and Saturday, and temperatures cool back down into the 50s. In fact, between the rain and the clouds, we get this blanket, so our overnight lows and afternoon highs, not much difference there, as we're kind of just stuck into this fall-like 50-degree weather. We've got more right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. As midterm races enter the home stretch, early voting began over the weekend in Nevada. Mail-in ballots were distributed last week. Nationwide, millions of Americans have already cast ballots and locked in their decisions. The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll has the House likely going to the Republicans and the Senate at a 50-50 split. President Biden said in a new interview that he intends to run for re-election in 2024, but won't make a formal decision until after the midterms. Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced he's ending his short-lived comeback effort. Johnson is pulling out of the race to succeed Liz Truss, who stepped down last week after her tax-cutting economic package caused turmoil in financial markets. Former Treasury Chief Rishi Sunak is now the leading contender to be Britain's next Prime Minister. And the Philadelphia Phillies powered past San Diego Padres 4-3 to win a spot in the World Series for the first time since 2009. Phillies faced the Houston Astros, who defeated the New York Yankees. Quick check of our forecast for the rest of today. Shower and thunderstorm chances are likely through the rest of the afternoon. The high of 76, that happened early this morning. Temperatures will drop back down to 58 by 8 o'clock. We have more shower and thunderstorm chances as we go into tonight. We'll hit an overnight low of about 51 degrees. And as we look at the 7-day real quick, you can see we have more shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into Tuesday. And then we get a brief break Wednesday and Thursday. By Friday and Saturday, more shower and thunderstorm chances coming in. Temperatures locked into the 50s and mostly cloudy skies by the time we reach Sunday. Well, the world's longest timber-powered suspension bridge is now open to the public in Boyne Falls, Michigan. At roughly 1,200 feet long, the Sky Bridge Skybridge, Michigan at Boyne Mountain provides more than 1,000 feet of suspended walking surface. No, thank you. The walkable portion of the pedestrian-only bridge, thank goodness, is about 5 feet wide. The bridge officially opened last Saturday. I do not know how I feel about walking across that particular bridge. I like that graphic there. Don't look down. Do not look down. I had to get on the roof of my wife's grandmother's house over the weekend, and I have a very, very bad fear of heights. Getting on the roof is not a problem. It's convincing myself to get on the ladder to go back down off the roof. That's where I told them, keep the fire department on standby. Somebody might have to come and rescue me. So thankfully that did not happen, but that's how it is if you're scared of heights, even though I still go up really high anyway. I climb ladders and go up in places. It's getting back down. That's the problem. Thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We are going to be back with more news and weather today at noon. Have a great morning and an even better day.